Yeah. So hope my screen is visible. Anybody can confirm, please. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So as I mentioned, so ergonomics is used or applied in the various stages or at various levels or at various systems. So if you see the system wise, a man-machine relationship, even in the workplace wise, where it talks about the posture, seat and control design, bench positions and displays. So like displays will be at what height or bench position, and control designs at what level, at what height it has to be. Then seats and the posture. So posture will be, I mean, in which position they're going to work. All these things. Then interface, exchange of information between man and machine. So with respect to the environment, I mean, at what type of environment they are interacting, the scales and the pointers, letters, numbers, their size. Like in the some kind of different kinds of atmospheres or environments, we can't able to refer those readings. Like if you see some of the meters or gauges, which is exposing in the external environment, especially in the winters, we can't able to read the readings until unless you are applying a light or something, etc. Those kind of situations. Then work situations like hours of work, rest pauses, shift work, or interpersonal and also organizational aspects of work. These things also we need to cover. Okay, when we say hours of work, so how many hours it can be advised, or rest pauses in the sense number of rest intervals. So if a person is works for 8 hours of duration, so what will be the minimum rest in intervals or rest pauses should be given. Okay, then shift works, what are the different shifts, and the interpersonal and organizational aspects. So with respect to the personal organization level activities. Okay, now we'll see some of the following examples: the application of ergonomics with respect to the human engineering, uh, which is matters to health and safety of the employees. One is stresses of excessive heat, light, humidity, noise, vibration, etc. Their safe limits, a type of workers. Example will be age and also male, female, fitness, etc. And task to be performed. So all should be considered, and also suitable environmental conditions should be designed to fit appropriately to the worker and his task. So when we say stress of excessive heat, light, humidity, and noises, there should be in a safe limit. Okay. Then based on all the things, we have to consider and we have to design the workplace. Then surrounding spaces, seat design, bench designs, positioning of displays, controls, materials, tools, equipments, instruments, etc. should be fit to the human body so that he can work without excessive effort within the range of healthy postures. So what are the surrounding spaces? So surrounding spaces, in the sense, sometimes if I take a machine operator, so he used to have some extra parts or machine fittings or etc. It should be easily available. Then seat design, so in such a way that you can have a better backrest. Then bench designs, if at all they're using any benches, or positioning of displays. So if you see our TVs also will get an setup for the TVs to have certain angle. You can take it forward and you can move to certain angles, left and right. So such kind of positions and controls, and even materials, tools and equipments. This has to be very close, or it should be fit. So the tools which you are using, it should not be so big you can't able to handle, then he can't able to perform the activity effectively, so then there is no use. All these aspects have to be considered, so that he can able to work comfortably and also in a healthy posture. Interface, display and control design should be considered effective information between man and machine, or environment in type of size, numbers, letters and pointers, saves and discrimination identification. Whenever the interface displays, wherever the man machine information exchange, as I take an example of again CNC machine operators, where they do programming in the machines. So whether there the sizes, shape, letters, pointers and all, it should be well designed. Then working hours, like rest pauses, shift work, interpersonal, etc. I think this we have covered already. Then it should be aimed to do work with a minimal use of energy and material, and without waste resulting from mistakes. Human error should be minimized for safety and health. So ergonomics is also aimed to with the minimal use of the human energy and materials, without waste resulting from the mistakes. So from the mistakes, it should not be resulting or end up with the waste. So with this, what will happen with the human errors? We do by minimizing the human errors, we can reduce the accidents. Then design and production of automotive vehicles, communication equipment, farm machinery, military services, aerospace systems, computers, electronic equipment can be made safe and also most suitable to the operators. So ergonomics is used in these sectors to make it such an equipments, tools or screens, it is more convenient to the operators. So if you see previously the mobile phones are very small, nowadays we are having very big mobiles in our this thing. Even previously, if you see the computers, first generation computers are like there will be in the room size. Nowadays we got a computer which is very handy, you can able to carry anywhere. That is also the best example for ergonomical design. Then even highway signs, typewriters, data processing systems, mission tools, kitchen stoves, street highway designs, rapid transit facilities, health facilities, housing, pollution control, education, law enforcement, postal services, airports, etc. are newer areas where ergonomic designs can give good results and also reduce accidents. So even highway signage is also where you see they have whatever the length you travel in the highway, they have a similar kind of signages. They will follow a certain rules while designing those signages, so that what will happen, it can avoid the reduce the accidents. Even they will identify the black spots where there is a frequent chance of accidents. So they can definitely alert the drivers or the passengers who is traveling on the road. So there is an accidental zone. They used to have curves, they used to have speed limit signages, etc. Then deciding allocation of functions between man and machines, the functions of perceiving, responding to the emergency situations, some typical judgments, etc., are better done by men than the machines. So functions have heavy lifting equipment, auto regulations, handling large amount of information, etc. So basically, defining the responsibilities and the activities or duties between man and the machine. So in case of any emergency, what will happen? Whether we leave the machine as it is, or we have to shut down the machine, or we have to bring the machine to the safe position, then we have to leave. What we do in case of emergency? Anybody? What we do in case of emergency? We leave the machine at the same situation, or we'll shut down the machine, will run, or we'll try to keep the machine to the safe mode and we can leave. Guess, any guess? Okay, no problem. So basically, it depends on the type of operations or the type of equipment you are operating. Sometimes, if you see as in a chemical, you can't stop the chemical reaction on of a sudden, or you can apply cooling to that reactor and you can shut down, or maybe it is not suitable, we have to look for other opportunity. In case of any mechanical operations, you can immediately apply emergency stop, you can leave. Or if you are not able to do that action, or you're not able to stop that, you have to try to make that mission to the safer mode, then you can leave the shop. Sometimes we didn't have such opportunity, then we have to leave that. If you have an opportunity, you can do these things. Otherwise, if you feel there is no time to do all these things, you have to escape, because the human life is so precious. The machines can be built again, the production can be done again, the machines can be buy again, but we can't bring the human life. Okay, that is kind of judgmental things are so important. Then task analysis to decide the selection standards and also workloads, training requirements, manpower requirement, equipment design can be carried out. So task analysis. So it is to be done. So when we say task analysis, so the activity which you are performing, even now we are seeing the AI technology. So whoever is not using the safety PPEs, those can be caught by the cameras which is installed. That is also one of the technique which is available in the market. Okay, so those kind of techniques or task analysis depend on what type of activity we are performing. So what will be the workload? Is there any training requirement for the people who are working? And also in case of any equipments we are using, the design of equipments. Then factors of control design. When we say controls design, so control display ratio, on what angle you are displaying your controls. Then safeguards against accidental activation. Then control coding, etc. Apart from the ergonomic design. Another one, workplace dimensions and also location of controls and displays, seat and panel design, the design of doors and accesses, for easy entry and exit, and also protective devices for emergency situations need to be well designed. In the ergonomic, the workplace dimensions. So whatever the workplace you have, those dimensions also need to be considered. Then location of controls, exactly where we have to position the controls and displays. Then seat and panel design, like control panels, etc. Okay. Then design of doors and accesses for easy entry and easy exit. So I have seen sometimes, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, those exit doors are designed in such a way that it'll open inside. In the sense, you have to open the door, then you have to go out. It is going to be inside, out. It should be always into out. You have to push the door. It has to open outside. You can't take the door inside your building and go out. So these are the things we have to consider. Even sometimes for the equipment, the bigger equipments or machines, you will see such kind of designs. Even workplace also, you see such kind of designs. Okay. And for good maintenance and ease of simple maintenance, manuals, tools, and rest test equipments, better location of units for easy access, and fault finding techniques, etc., are to be designed properly. So this is also important with respect to the maintenance point of view. So you should have the manuals in place to what do you call, to track down, or I'm not getting the exact wording. Manuals used for, I mean, not tracing the issue. I'm not getting the word. So uses of manuals and yields, tools and test equipments. So we used to have different kinds of test equipments for different kinds of applications or testing. Then better location of units for easy access. Then fault finding techniques are also to be designed properly. Then allowance of local weather conditions, ventilation in a cramped premises, providing stool to put the containers to avoid frequent bending, or elementary checklist or ergonomic aspects. Okay. Allowance of local weather conditions. So when you are designing an equipment, for example, if you take an automobile company, so the engines or the fuel or the design of equipment is completely different. If you see the hot weather conditions or cold weather conditions, European countries, some of the countries are, you will see the temperatures will go very low. So where the equipment design is completely different. Then ventilation, cramped premises, like ventilation, where if you're working in certain atmospheres where the ventilation will be very low. So how you are designing your ventilation, like artificial ventilation, if your natural ventilation is not available. Then providing stool to put the containers to avoid frequent bending. It is a simple example. So to avoid the frequent bending, we can have conveyors, or you can have uh, or benches in place, or you'll have uh, work working platform, or you can make a provision to get all your barrels or containers in such a position that you need not to bend and grab that containers. Okay. Then some elementary checklists are ergonomic aspects. Okay, these are the few aspects with respect to the ergonomics. Now we'll see workstation design. So it is about in a specific area. So here we talk about anthropometry and biomechanics, or the branches of ergonomics dealing with the physical dimensions and properties of human body. These are the two topics where we deal with the physical dimension of human body. Then anthropometry measures the measuring of human body height, breadth, and also depth of various distances of the body parts are measured, and curvatures, circumferences are also measured, and the measurements are taken in stand, erect, or seated positions. Which means in standing position, seating position, they will take the body measurements like length of your feet or hand, or if you're sitting and doing your activity. I mean, how far you can. I mean, take your forward your hands and fingers, etc. Accordingly, they will design the controls. When we say body dimensions are measured by anthropometers, calipers, tapes, and scales. Such dimensions are useful in the designing of workspace tools, equipment, seating arrangements, vehicles, and also workstations, so that they can be a best fit to the users. So when we say this position, sitting position, again I can take an example of an automobile where you sit in a car. So for everybody, it is not a standard seat. You can have an adjustment based on your height and etc. So you'll have some what do you call provision. You can adjust your seat up and down, and also you take it forward and you take it backward, so that accordingly you can able to adjust and have a comfortable drive. Now, also some of the health related problems related to the work postures like back pain, etc. So, sitting or standing in a same posture for a long time, except muscle tension, also spinal compressions. So that's where we used to see most of the IT working people or whoever is having a sitting job. They used to have back pain or neck pain in very early ages. That is the reason, because of continuous sitting, it will compresses the spinal cord. Therefore, it should be avoided by providing the rest periods, physical activity, or exercises. So that's where even most of the nutritionists or uh, I mean doctors, they used to suggest you should have a proper rest intervals while you are performing an activity, especially who is having sitting job, so that they can avoid these kind of ergonomic stresses and health related issues. Then computer operators keep the head in a fixed position for a long time, and therefore suffer the pain and also tension in the neck area, and also the intensity, frequency, and long hours of muscle contractions causes severe discomfort, pain, and other musculoskeletal disorders that last for long periods. That's where if you see, if you are coming from a farming background, if you see our fathers and the forefathers, you would have seen they used to have back pains or leg pains due to the frequent uh, I mean, they work very hard, and also the frequency, the intensity of work they done is very high. Even they would have done in their early ages, lifted the many, I mean, huge weights, resulting they would have got this musculoskeletal disorders. It means they are irreversible actually. Musculoskeletal disorders will be irreversible, like back pains or knee pains or joint pains, etc., etc. So lumbar spines or suffers more force while sitting on a stool without backrest. So lumbar pains in the sense wherever you sit in a position, there you will not in a position you will not have backrest. It is a simple just a stool where you find especially in the roadside tiffin centers. So if you are sitting on such a kind of stools for longer durations, you will get such kind of pains. And leaning back over the backrest and also arms hanging down reduce the compression force. A straight upright backrest do not support the body, and also high disc forces may occur. So leaning back over and also backrest and also arm hanging down reduce the compression forces. So due to that, you always, if you have a to sit in a comfortable position to avoid these compressions. And straight upright backrest do not support the body, and high disc forces may occur. So sometimes if you sit in a 90-degree for more period of time, then those cases also there is a compression happen. So you should always try to have some change your body posture, taking some backrest, so that you can avoid these back injuries. And when it is declined back and upper body weight is rested on the backrest, internal forces are also declined. Relaxed, leaning, or declining backrest uh, is the least stressful sitting posture. It means relaxed leaning and declined backrest instead of inclined. Declined backrest means if you see in the some of the chairs which are ergonomically designed to certain position or certain degree, you can have that decline. You can even for the, I mean, again, automobile in the cars also, you can take your seat back to a certain angle. It will given a comfortable posture. Sometimes we do it 90-degree, or sometimes we take it a bit declined posture, so that you will have a comfortable ride. Okay. So with this, we have done this topic. If you have any questions, we can discuss. Okay, we have another 7 minutes. I try to bring up the industrial hygiene topic just to give an overview. I will not start this topic. Okay. Hope my screen is visible now. So tomorrow we are going to cover this industrial hygiene topic. We try to cover what is mean the industrial hygiene, and what various topics the hygiene will deals. Then we'll try to cover a difference between industrial hygiene and occupational health. Then we'll cover some of the areas where this industrial topic will majorly impacted. Then we'll talk about various dangerous properties of chemicals, and also the classification of airborne contaminants, where we have different types of gases or vapors, particulate matters, dust, etc. Even we can see the particle size for the solid aerosols. Then we'll see different types of different definitions of aerosols, which means aerosol means the presence of chemical contamination in the air, a mix of chemical or the concentration of chemical which is there in the air. Then we'll see the different routes of entry of this toxics into our body. Majorly, there are. I mean, this topic also we discussed in our various situations. Here are absorption. Then we have through the lungs, etc. Respiration, which is inhalation. Then injections. Then we'll talk about toxicity and their relevant terms: acute toxicity, asphyxiants, or what is meant by carcinogens. So the carcinogens. So if you see some of the the paints or some of the substances which are carcinogens. So if you see in the labeling of the package itself, they would have mentioned this carcinogen agent. So you should be deal with very carefully. So these carcinogens, especially food ingredients or food colors, are carcinogens which can cause cancer due to the frequent consumption. Then we talk about other definitions. Again, we talk about central nervous system, how it is going to be impact due to the exposure of these chemicals. Okay. Then we'll see some of the exposure limits. Okay, etc. This is going to be our topic for tomorrow. Okay. So we have another 3 minutes. Any questions? Okay. If no questions, we can wind up for session today. Very good evening once again. Again, see you in tomorrow. Thank you.